Let's do best new artist first of the broader categories.
Okay, so I don't know who half these people are.
I don't know how these people are. I also don't get how talk about like I don't get the category. How do you determine who's new and who's not?
Well, that
You
was
look
the
that
other.
up?
So the one that I do know is Toby and Nwagwe or whatever how the hell he's saying his name.
Yeah. I know him. Yeah.
And that man's been releasing like full albums since like
Right.
2015.
Yeah. There's always like every year there's someone who gets new artists, and I'm like, they've been out for like 5 years. Like what? Like I don't get how you determine new. If I just look at this list and had to pick someone, for me it's Omar Apollo. I think his album was one of the better
Yeah, I
albums
was like,
this
I like
year,
Omar Apollo
and
too. I'm gonna like that.
that's who I would pick. But I'm also limited to like Omar Apollo, Muni, however you say that long, Lotto, Toby, and then Wet Leg are the only ones I've ever listened to in my
I don't
entire
know
life.
Wet Leg.
Wet Leg's like indie. It's like a girl. I don't know if it's like a duo or a group, and it's like an indie. They're pretty good, but I would say Omar Apollo. His album was, I thought, very good. He had a few like pretty big songs on that. In terms of snubs, you said it. Like Red Veil, I think should have cleaned this up.
Then that makes sense as like a new artist.
Right. He is an actual new artist. Like he put out one album when he was unknown that gained traction like a year or two ago, and then put out an album that now he's working with huge artists. Like I feel like he's the definition of a new artist.
Or I would argue not really a new artist. Throw my guy Smino in this category.
Yeah, Smino, I guess by the standards they're setting,
albums, this is his first album where some money's been put into it.
Yeah, by the standards they've set, I could see that counting.
Yeah.
The only other person I would say, and I'm mostly saying this just to trigger you, is I'm a new fan of Yeet.
Oh God, yeah, I saw you tweet that, and I was like,
dude,
Rami, you have things to do. I was like, Rami, you have things to do.
And the funniest thing, I texted my little cousin who's in high school, and I'm like, this is right up his alley. He's gonna love the shit. And I just text him, what do you think about Yeet? And he just goes, trash. And I was like, no. Like I thought I was like cool. I thought I was one of the young kids.
No.
I like Yeet. I like Yeet. There, I said it.
But you know who should win this?
Oh.
Jack Harlow.
Nah, but Jack Harlow's been like, he's literally been putting out albums since like 18.
Really?
Yeah, he has like 5 albums on streaming.
I have no
maybe
idea.
even like more years, and maybe even like earlier than that. I might look that up really quick. Let's see. Jack Harlow, his first album, 2016. He's been out for a while, but yeah, his album before this recent one, That's What They All Say. If you want to give him a chance at all, that's the album I would tell you to listen to, because that album I actually like.
Well, I'm not going to listen to it. What's the next category?
Okay, next category we have. Do we want to go up to album of the year or start with album of the year?
We can start with album of the year.
Let's start with album of the year. So the nominees are Voyage by ABBA, 30 by Adele, Un Verano Sin Ti, I try to say that the right accent, Bad Bunny, Renaissance by Beyonce, Good Morning Gorgeous by Mary J. Blige, In These Silent Days by Brandy Carlisle, don't know who that is, Music of the Spheres by Coldplay, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers by Kendrick, Special by Lizzo, and Harry's House by Harry Styles. My first thing, before you say anything, what I don't get is Kendrick's the only rap album that gets the so doesn't that mean he automatically shouldn't he then automatically win the rap album category?
Well, that's exactly what my first issue is going to be, is rap is the largest consumed music genre on planet Earth. Why is there only one album?
Yeah, I never get that, because if you literally go into streaming and look up just the charts for anything, it's just rap the whole time.
It's rap the whole time.
And you can convince me it's like, oh, well, people listen to indie or just buying vinyls or like like paying, like no one's doing that. It's just the number one thing people listen to is rap. And
I went down this list. I was like, first of all, do you know ABBA?
Dude, ABBA's like from there's a Broadway show for them.
Dancing Queen.
Yeah, they're like from the 70s or 80s, whatever the fuck.
I was like, First of all, why is ABBA releasing an album in 2022? Second of all, why on earth is it nominated for Album of the Year?
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, they're not like a disrespected group. Like, they made good music, but just like why? Just like why? Like,
Yeah,
why?
I don't get it. So that I have no idea. I'm gonna be pissed if they win. Adele, that Adele album slapped.
Adele, I think Adele's taking this one easy.
That Adele album slapped. But I have one thing written down in my notes, and it is Bad Bunny, baby.
I knew you were
Bad
gonna say that, yeah.
motherfucking Bunny. Give it to Bad Bunny.
So Bad Bunny should win, in my opinion. Bad Bunny is on my list though of artists I want to like really bad, but as much as I try, I can't get into them.
Oh,
The top two are Bad Bunny and The
love
Weeknd
Bad
for
Bunny.
me. I want to like The Weeknd, doesn't do it for me. I want to like Bad Bunny, doesn't do it for me.
That man doesn't speak any English. I don't speak any Spanish, but I sit there. I'm like, oh, this song's called Moscow Mule. I'm sitting there shaking my little hiney. I have no idea any of the words.
I'll dance to it, but yeah, I mean that album I think had like was number one for months.
Yeah, Bad Bunny should win.
It should win, but I think Adele's gonna win. I think Beyonce's album is the only other one with a chance.
So going down the list here, Beyonce's album. I didn't listen to Beyonce's album besides the 3 songs where she actually got house producers to make the songs. Mary J. Blige. I'm a Mary J. Blige fan. Love me.
I knew you were.
Why is she nominated for Album of the Year?
Okay. I'm glad you're talking sense because she's your type of artist who's always trying to do too much.
Yeah, and so then I even went back and I was like, well, if this album's nominated for Album of the Year, this has got to be a great Mary album.
Yeah, it's okay.
It was a fine Mary album.
It's okay. Yeah.
And then, do you know who Brandy Carlisle is?
No, I tried listening. I think it's like
some folk singer.
Yeah, it's like folky,
like 500,000 followers on Instagram. Like,
yeah.
Who listens to this?
But you know what they're doing the same thing that they think they're doing to rap too. We're like, oh, we got to give that genre one.
Yeah, and then it was like, well, I looked at her Instagram. I was like, I got to figure out how this woman, like, no one listens to this. And the first picture I see, her and Elton John. And I was like, I don't need to see anything else. I was like, there it is. They're like, oh, she knows Elton John. Let's just throw it in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But like, yeah, she toured with Pink this year, and like Pink headlined.
Toured?
What?
Pink had a tour? Did she put out music?
No, I don't know. She toured with Pink, and Pink headlined. She didn't even headline. She's nominated for Album of the Year.
Yeah, that's. Although you're counting that as like that has to be Album of the Year.
What?
Like the person has to. I guess like. Yes, the person should headline their own tour if they have an album that's that good. But if you're touring with Pink, Pink's like one of the biggest artists in the world.
Pink hasn't released an Album of the Year, but my thing is, if you have the top 5 or 7 best albums of the year, you should not be.
Yeah, you should be doing your own tour. Yeah. I agree with that point.
I don't care who it is.
I think Coldplay falls under the same category as Mary J. Blige, where it's like good group, but like why this album? Like
I know nothing about Coldplay. I was like, do the whites still listen to Coldplay? I have no idea.
I don't know. I've never listened. I've like never ever listened to Coldplay.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Kendrick Lizzo album. Kendrick.
Gotta give us one. Lizzo. I mean, I will say I have never voluntarily listened to a Lizzo song, and I could probably sing you the words to like 4 songs on that album. And so put her there.
Yeah.
And then Harry Styles, I just figured out who Harry Styles was, so I don't know. Apparently it's been fake.
Harry Styles tries really hard to make me not like him. I love his song Watermelon Sugar. But then his other music's okay. But then just as a dude, I find him so annoying that it's tough. I think he's a good artist, but he annoys me.
Don't know anything about his music. Don't Worry, Darling wasn't as bad as people say it was.
I haven't watched it. The only thing I saw was him allegedly spit on what's his face.
Yeah, I saw that too. That looked like I mean, that's what got me to go see the movie. Kayla saw it on TikTok. She was like, "Ooh, there's drama. Let's go see the movie."
You think it was fake?
I don't know, but I think it was a good sales pitch if it was there, because the movie got like a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. They're like, well, if we just say drama with Harry Styles, people will go see it. And there my ass was.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with I think Adele's winning. I think Bad Bunny should win. I think Beyonce is the only other one in the mix. That's what I think. But yes, like rap should have more, like Pusha T, I think should have just been included on here over like fucking Brandy Carlisle.
Yeah. And I think Bad Bunny should win. Adele will win. I'm not mad at it.
Okay. So we're on the same page. All right. So then there's record of the year and song of the year. So talk about what people don't get. Record of the year is it goes to like the engineers and the producers. It's for like the sound, whereas song of the year is for the songwriters. So that's how it goes. So we'll do record of the year. Don't Shut Me Down by ABBA, Easy on Me by Adele, Break My Soul by Beyonce, Good Morning Gorgeous by Mary J. Blige, You and Me on the Rock by Brandy Carlisle, Woman by Doja Cat, Bad Habit by Steve Lacy, The Heart Part 5 by Kendrick Lamar, About Damn Time by Lizzo, As It Was by Harry Styles. Thoughts?
So the first thing that jumps out to me is Kendrick Lamar should not be on this list. They just had to give us one, and they don't know anything about hip hop. So
it's also like if we're going by the definition, if I'm going by the definition of record versus song, this to me is more of the song than the record. It's more about the lyricism than the
100%. Like it was like a very elementary production. It was very
it was meant for Kendrick to highlight Kendrick's rapping.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that doesn't make sense. This should have been the future Drake and Tem song.
Yeah,
is what I think.
I want there consistency, not perfection.
But they don't know because everyone bitches every year and they try to fix them. I'm telling you. If you just stop bitching, you'd get consistency, and the rap people would never win anything. And they just pick the so like that. Like that's a consistency you'll get.
This is consistent. Let's see. I think. I mean, ABBA. I have nothing to do with. I have no idea. Easy on Me, banger. I think once again more of a vocal banger than maybe a production banger. Break My Soul.
That has to win.
That's got to win.
That's what I think.
Mary J. Blige. I forget what that song sounded like. Brandy Carlisle. Get Her Out of Here. Doja Cat. I don't know that song. I probably do if I heard it.
Yeah, you do.
Bad Habit by Steve Lacy. He's not going to win, but I like throwing him in this category.
I love Steve Lacy. Did you see all the stuff where like he hates touring? Have you seen all those videos from his tour? So he's like touring, and because that song got huge on TikTok, his concerts are selling out, and he's doing like big arenas, but it's all like TikTok teeny boppers who only know that song. And he's and if you actually know Steve Lacy, because Steve Lacy's like the lead guitarist on the Internet, the group The Internet.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know. So what I really want to say about Steve Lacy is I think he's another example of why Odd Future is the most impactful group in hip hop of the last decade. But just throwing that out there.
I might not push back on that.
Because Tyler, multiple Grammys. Frank is Frank and has Grammys. Earl's arguably one of the best lyricists in hip hop. The Internet won a Grammy. Steve Lacy now is getting nominated for Grammys on his own. You can argue Vince Staples and Mac Miller's career were very much impacted by being around Odd Future early last decade. They were doing merch before rappers were really doing merch. I'm telling you, it's very, very easy.
My only thought would be all of my favorite Odd Future rappers we don't hear from anymore.
Like Damo Genesis?
Yeah, he released the album last year, didn't he?
No, a few years ago. He was on Tyler's last album, though.
Or was it the year before? No, I thought it was this past year.
He dropped an EP. He dropped something.
Maybe 2021.
Yeah,
but we're
off track.
We're off track.
Yeah. Yeah, but Bad Habit to me, I think could win the Song of the Year. It's in Song of the Year category. I think that's what it would have a chance in, and like a legitimate chance, because that song's huge. Record of the Year, I don't think so.
I'm not on the talks And so I only know that song from knowing Steve Lacy, and so I didn't know that it was that popular.
That album's also really good. Like,
I
when
like
that
that
album
album
first
a lot.
came out, I liked that album.
Yeah.
So of all those, I think Beyonce should run away with record of the year.
Yeah.
That beat is brazy.
Yeah.
My song. I love that song. So I think that should win pretty easily. If I had to say who else would have a chance, I just think Doja Cat, Lizzo, Adele all have chances.
Yeah.
I
I
think
agree with that.
those are the
Mhm.
4 that really have a chance. I think Beyonce's running away with it.
No,
Um,
I agree with that.
Song of the year. This is one I had to listen. ABCDEFU by Gail. I looked that up. She has like barely any music. She had this one song go off and then just made basically 5 different versions of the same song.
This might be my least favorite song on planet Earth.
Yeah, it's
I
not.
only know this song
I never
from
heard
like being in the kitchen and hearing Kayla on the couch scroll through TikTok.
really.
And
Oh,
I
so
just
it's
like,
TikTok song. That makes
you
sense.
gotta mute this. Like I can't stand this song. It's my least favorite song that might have been made in the last 10 years. I hate this song.
All right, so fuck that
It'll
song.
probably win. It'll probably
About Damn Time by Lizzo, All Too Well by Taylor Swift, As It Was by Harry Styles, Bad Habit, Steve Lacy, Break My Soul, Beyonce, Easy on Me, Adele, God Did, DJ Khaled, the Jay-Z verse, The Heart Part 5 by Kendrick, and Just Like That by Bonnie Raitt, another person I don't know who that is.
Looked up Bonnie Raitt. She's like a country-ish, folkish
Yeah, it's like
singer.
folkish. Yeah. I tried
Yeah.
giving it a quick listen before we started. This I would say Steve Lacy has a chance to win. I would say Taylor Swift has a chance to win. I would say Lizzo has a chance to win. I'm going to give it to Steve Lacy. I'm like holding out so much hope that Steve Lacy gets it, so I'm just going to say Steve Lacy should and will.
I think it's between Beyonce and Adele to win record of the year, and whoever doesn't win that one's gonna win this one. Maybe Taylor Swift comes in and steals it. Didn't she release her album on like Friday?
I don't know. She's released several albums. I agree with what you're saying. Actually, I could see. I don't know if the last one made the cut, but she's been like releasing an album a year almost recently. Like since COVID, she's released several albums. Yeah, I like that logic. That who'd you say? Beyonce and Adele.
Beyonce and Adele.
Yeah.
Whoever doesn't win that
1-1. Yeah, I could see that. That's good thinking. I'm just holding out for because Steve Lacy. I feel like that song is big and everyone loves singing along to the chorus. So that to me goes to like songwriting.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it has.
You're overthinking it.
I think what you're saying is right, but I'm just holding out hope for Steve Lacy because
I would like to see Steve Lacy win it.
Fucking love Steve Lacy.